Hello, plant friends. So we are continuing our series with Darryl, who is your regular work-from-home plant guy in his regular work-from-home office with a few plants and a few plant experiments. Hope you guys enjoy.
Well, let's talk about a mess first. How about this? Because everyone shows plant successes.
Okay.
Here's my plant fail.
Huge plant fail.
So obviously these are Monstera Adansonii, right? The Swiss cheese ones. And you can probably tell they just look ugly. And there's a good purpose, and it's totally my fault. It was potted into one pot, and I just wanted to, and then I wanted to repot it. I'm like, oh, there are just basically a ton of cuttings in there, you know, as nurseries do or growers do.
Yeah.
There are always cuttings in there. So then I kind of separated them, and I left them out on my patio. I think I totally forgot I left them there. And they just really started...
Oh, they just burnt in the sun.
They burnt, they wilted, they just got destroyed.
So did you, after that, I assume you chopped it up and then try to propagate?
Yep, so basically what I did was, that was when I actually did chop them up, and I just separated them, just potted them up, and now they're just slowly making a comeback.
Yeah.
And this was nearly just like, I would say no more than like a month ago, or maybe 2 months, month or two ago.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, this is one of the advantages of these quote-unquote like more common plants. A lot of them tend to be easier.
Yeah.
And you can make these mistakes. You can burn them and whatever, and then...
They just kind of come back.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the advantages. Very nice.
So sometimes a good with a fail, right? It comes with a little blessing because you're like, oh, now I can just watch it grow from a little stem. Right. So these are all pinguiculas. This one back here was my very first carnivorous plant. At the time, I had no idea what it was. Because the only reason why I got it, because this was off of Half Moon Bay. There's a carnivorous plant store. And we go there every once in a while. We get fungus gnats. So I would ask the lady, I'm like, what are these good for? She's like, oh, attracting fungus gnats. And I was like, bingo, there we go. So that was the first one. And it kind of then spawned into my second kind of, I guess, love for plants, like these little types. So I've kind of slowly grown my carnivorous plant game a little bit. It's really to catch the fungus gnats, but over time, I really now enjoy them. I think I did like one video like on my channel. I was like, how many gnats do I have on this thing? I had over like 130 gnats.
130 gnats.
I had over 130 gnats just on like that one ping, and I was like, okay, well, it's doing its job. Yeah. I couldn't argue with that.
I see a water bottle labeled fertilizer.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you use?
So this is so I have pings. So pings fertilizer.
So it's only for the carnivorous plants?
Only for my carnivorous plants, because right here's the solution for it. This Cactus liquid plant food plus.
Okay.
So obviously there's just a few drops in here, you know, because this is the concentrate. And then I would say about once a month, I just kind of spray it on top.
Of the carnivorous plants?
Yep, just give it a little love.
Okay.
That's about it. And you're probably like, what are these?
Caudex?
So they are kind of like a caudex plant. As you can tell, I like the caudex with my other like philodendrons. So this is a Dioscoria Elephantisi. When it matures, it becomes like they call it like a turtleback, you know, like the
tortoiseshell.
The tortoiseshell.
Right. I've seen the bigger versions.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know this is what the small version is.
I've grown these from seed.
Jeez, they're like a peanut.
Yeah. And I wanted to try obviously different substrates, right? So I have soil and like sphagnum moss. Oh. It's a flat seed. Probably like the size of like maybe like the size of like my my pinky nail leg.
Jeez, and this thing turns into that giant tortoise thing. No wonder those things are a little bit more expensive. Probably takes like ages.
Yeah, it definitely takes a long time. And what I'm finding out that these are they're a little viney too, so they can kind of like you can put like a little trellis or something. You can let the vines kind of grow up. When I first transplanted these I actually grew them in that little seed box over there. When I transplanted them, the first leaves, they started to like totally brown and dry off. And I'm like, oh no, they're totally getting like bad. But then they give out new shoots. Yeah, there's just multiple
This looks
ones.
really fun though.
Yeah, I just like the little experiments.
Jungle Boogie?
I was gonna say Jungle Boogie, or was it like a Sawtooth or something like that?
I will.
I know this is like another philodendron.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Because I think the variegated version of that is the Ring of Fire.
Okay, yeah.
I think
yeah.
so. Probably
So
like
it's
a Jungle
Boogie.
Jungle Boogie, probably.
I'm sure someone will correct us in some way, right?
Absolutely. And as you can tell, right, you can tell with my other lights.
Yeah. So you lost your rust spots with just changing the lights?
Just changing the lights.
Huh. Okay.
Obviously, I know that these rust spots will stay.
Yeah.
They won't go away, but the new leaves coming out,
And you
they
get
won't
more.
develop it,
Wow.
I guess, the change of lights.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then this one right here, it's a mature silver sword. So a philodendron silver sword.
Yeah, Hastatum. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yes, you rarely see them this mature. I guess in the U.S. outside of probably Florida, I assume.
Exactly. So like when I was looking online and just shopping about it, I just picked up this, I think like a day or two ago, just a smaller silver sword, right? So this is probably what most people are familiar with, a little bit smaller, but I was like,
I like that
I want like a mature leaf.
I like that. Yeah, I like that the mature leaf, the shape, the form changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what kind of most people.
It's like a little like horn head, no, like a skull head.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I just have some basic, also just philodendrons.
Mm-hmm.
Was this like probably like an imperial or something green, imperial green or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got those like Trader Joe's, like when they kind of come out with like their cheapy plants. That's why like some of these are also like similar. So these are also like I got them at like Trader Joe's for like those three plants.
You have the Mycans.
Yep, this one right here. This is actually another gift.
That's very nice.
So typically, you know, when you do like plant trades or plant sales or something, like, you know, people will offer up some like little cuttings.
I think you get a lot of these when you go to, I mean, obviously before the pandemic, when you go to like plant swaps, a lot of people towards the end of the plant swap will just have these cuttings that they don't do anything with. So
I got this when it was just one strand, and since then I've chopped it into a couple to kind of hopefully slowly make it bushier.
I love the Mycans. I did a video on like the most underrated plants like last year, and lots of people named the Mycans. As one of the most like underrated, and you can totally see why. Like it's very, first of all, it's affordable. The leaves have a nice texture. It's a great color, viney. You know, super fun. I mean, just velvety leaves, cheap, viney. I mean, what else are people looking for? I don't know.
Exactly. All right, we can do this one. Here's a good little story one too.
I won't guess what this is. What is it?
Philodendron painted lady.
Okay.
So
actually, I've seen a lot of requests for people looking for that kind of plant on Facebook. I think the other day.
Okay. Yeah. Gabriella plants just released, like the 4-inch or the 3-inch. They were like 85 or 75.
Okay. All right.
They sell out in seconds, so you got to jump on that. But I got this one off of Macari again.
Okay.
It was just a cutting. It did come with 2 leaves, but after a week, those 2 leaves kind of fell off. They kind of wilted, and I was just left with the chunk. I've just kind of kept it. It has like a growth point. It has another baby down inside. I don't know if you can see that one.
Oh, that's your chonk.
There is another kind of growth.
Oh yeah, little growth point
coming out. Yeah. It's hard to kind of capture it. Because what I also like to do, like on my channel, is I like to just kind of track the growth of some of these. Yeah. So I created like a props and cuts little series. Nice. So I'll just kind of like every month or like month and a half, depending on what time I have, I'll just kind of showcase some of the plants that are growing. So I'll take a screenshot of the first month and then the growth then and then what it looks now.
I like that you have a lot of babies, you have a lot of cuttings, you have like a lot of plants that aren't picture perfect. This is reality, right? This is reality. I am not, like, I'm just a hobbyist.
This is another one too. I was so thankful that I got it last year.
The Jose Bueno.
Yeah.
Because
the prices right now are ridiculous.
They're absurd. Like I like this plant a lot. I mean, this used to be what you're holding right there in like last year, 2020 or 2019 would have been like $25-$30. Some people would give it for free if you had a good enough plant friend.
Yep, I think I probably got it towards like the tail end. And I got this one, it was like $60.
Right. So now it's like what, 200, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 200, 240. I've seen it, but
yeah.
But I'm looking at some of the other variegations. They're darker. Mine is white.
It looks good. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The plant has not caught enough of my attention for me to notice too much about it. But yeah, I like it.
Like, yeah.
I have nothing against it. But yeah, I think the price is a bit absurd for what it is.
Yeah.
But then again, so are prices for a lot of other plants right now.
That is correct.
So this is basically you just kind of sit here and work.
Yep. This is my workstation.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not drinking all day, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of where I'm at working. So like my view is the plants. Right? Nothing's like behind me or anything, so
yeah, I mean, I
can kind of keep an eye on some of my projects. Obviously, I have a dual monitor, but yeah, this is kind of like my life.
This is awesome. All right, I think we covered all your plans, right?
Yeah. Oh, this last one we didn't actually talk about the Moonlight.
It's a Moonlight Philodendron. It's very full.
Yeah, so this was actually one of my first big purchases, like for like an extra large plant.
Yeah.
So I got this locally here where I live, just a local plant shop, and I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, and then my wife looked at me all strange. She's like, "Wait, you're gonna buy $100 plant?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why not? So this was like my first one that was like extra large. I was thinking about splitting it because it's technically 2 plants in there. But then last month, it actually started to flower.
Oh.
So I actually just had I filmed the whole process, right? This is super dry.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up did not pollinating any of these, just because I don't know if my office conditions, it wasn't maybe as humid.
Right, yeah, I don't know.
But the flower that came out looked amazing. I was like, it's all bright red. When it opened up, it gave off this like scent in my office, which it made it smell super sweet.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that was really cool. Because I guess when the flower opens up, it's like you have like a window of like 48 hours for it to open up, hopefully to pollinate, and then it'll close back up.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So you only have a short amount of time to like pollinate it, which it ended up did not working out. But I just like to go through that process.
It looks great though.
Yeah.
It was super, super full.
And the leaves come out really bright yellow. As you can tell, this is a new one coming out.
Yeah.
And then over time, right, they'll just get darker and green.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I think that really covers pretty much all my plants.
Yeah.